What if I told you that everything you think you know about aging stops preparing you right around your 85th birthday? Most people spend decades planning for retirement, saving money and staying healthy, but nobody prepares you for the brutal psychological and practical realities that hit like a sledgehammer once you cross that 85-year threshold. By the end of this video, you'll discover the 5 harsh realities that blindside most people at 85, plus simple strategies to face each one with confidence and dignity. The 5th reality I'll reveal is something that happens to 90% of people this age, yet almost no one talks about it, and it could determine whether your final years are fulfilling or devastating. Vivian from Tucson thought she had aging figured out at 82. She exercised daily, managed her finances independently, stayed socially active with her book club and church group, and felt confident about her future. But when she turned 85, 5 unexpected challenges hit her like a freight train, leaving her feeling completely unprepared despite decades of careful planning. Within 18 months, her carefully constructed life fell apart in ways she never saw coming. Reality 1. Your social circle vanishes faster than you ever imagined. Why does everyone assume you'll just naturally maintain friendships as you age? The truth is, your social world starts collapsing at an alarming rate once you hit 85, and most people are completely caught off guard by how quickly and thoroughly it happens. Research from Harvard Medical School's study on adult development, which has tracked participants for over 80 years, reveals that adults over 85 lose an average of 60% of their close social connections within just 3 years. This isn't the gradual decline that people expect and prepare for. This is social devastation that strikes faster than anyone anticipates and leaves people feeling completely abandoned. The mathematics of aging friendships are brutal and unforgiving. Consider what happened to Harold from Denver, a man who prided himself on maintaining strong relationships throughout his life. At 84, he had 12 close friends he spoke with regularly, saw at least monthly, and considered essential parts of his support system. By his 86th birthday, only 3 of those friendships remained active and meaningful. The others had ended not through arguments, personality conflicts, or falling outs, but through the simple, devastating arithmetic of aging. 3 friends died from sudden heart attacks or strokes, 2 moved to assisted living facilities in other states to be near family, 2 developed severe dementia and no longer recognized him, and 2 became too physically frail to maintain regular contact or social activities. The consequences of this rapid social isolation are more severe and far-reaching than most people realize or prepare for. According to the same Harvard research, combined with data from the National Institute on Aging, seniors who experience rapid social network decline show a 50% increase in dementia risk and a 60% increase in clinical depression within just 2 years of the isolation beginning. Your brain literally starts deteriorating faster when you're socially isolated, because human connection stimulates cognitive function, memory retention, and emotional regulation. The loneliness doesn't just hurt emotionally. It creates measurable physical damage to your brain structure and function. Social isolation also weakens your immune system by 40%, increases systemic inflammation throughout your body, raises your risk of heart disease by 29%, and increases your mortality risk by 26%. Here's exactly what you need to do right now to protect yourself from this devastating reality. Implement what I call the 2-contact rule starting today, without exception. Every single day, reach out to 2 different people through phone calls, text messages, emails, handwritten letters, or in-person visits. Don't wait for others to contact you first. Don't make excuses about being too busy or not wanting to bother people. And don't assume your relationships will somehow maintain themselves without consistent effort on your part. Create a simple list of 20 people you genuinely care about and want to stay connected with, then rotate through that list systematically, ensuring you contact each person at least twice per month. If someone doesn't respond immediately, try again the following week, but never stop trying or assume they don't want to hear from you. Build these communication habits right now while you still have energy and mental clarity, because waiting until you're 85 and desperately lonely is waiting too long. Reality 2. Your independence disappears in unexpected ways. Nobody warns you that independence doesn't fade gradually like a sunset. It often vanishes overnight like someone flipping a light switch. You go to bed one night completely capable of managing your own life, making your own decisions, and handling your own affairs. And you wake up the next morning suddenly dependent on others for basic survival needs you've managed independently for 8 decades. Mayo Clinic data tracking functional decline in seniors shows that 40% of people over 85 experience sudden, dramatic losses of independence triggered by single events rather than the gradual decline that everyone expects and plans for. These aren't the slow, manageable changes you've been preparing for your entire adult life. These are life-altering moments that arrive without warning and change absolutely everything about how you live. Joyce from Atlanta learned this devastating lesson when she experienced what seemed like a minor dizzy spell while driving to the grocery store on a Tuesday morning. She felt slightly lightheaded, managed to pull over safely in a parking lot, and called her daughter, thinking it was nothing more serious than skipping breakfast or standing up too quickly. Within 48 hours of that phone call, her doctor had permanently revoked her driving privileges due to dangerous medication interactions she didn't even know were affecting her balance and reaction time. Just like that, with no warning period or gradual transition, Joyce went from complete independence to relying entirely on others for every single trip outside her home. No more spontaneous errands when she remembered something she needed. No more meeting friends for lunch on a whim. No more sense of freedom and control over her own schedule and daily activities. The medical reality behind sudden independence loss is stark and unforgiving. Research from Johns Hopkins School of Medicine shows that once people over 85 lose a major component of their independence, like driving, cooking safely, or managing finances competently, 70% never regain that capability, regardless of physical therapy, family support, or medical intervention. The loss creates what researchers call a dependency cascade, where other abilities start declining rapidly in sequence. When you can't drive anymore, you exercise less because getting to the gym or walking group becomes complicated. You socialize less because seeing friends requires coordinating rides, and you become more isolated and depressed. When you can't cook safely due to memory issues or physical limitations, your nutrition suffers dramatically, affecting your energy levels, mental clarity, and overall health. When you can't manage money due to cognitive changes or physical limitations, family members start making financial decisions for you, and you lose control over your own life choices and independence. Start creating detailed backup plans for every single aspect of your current independence right now, today, before you need them desperately. Research all available transportation options in your specific area, including senior shuttle services, rideshare apps like Uber and Lyft, public transportation routes, and volunteer driver programs through local churches or community organizations. Learn to use grocery delivery apps, restaurant delivery services, and online shopping platforms while your mind is completely sharp and you have patience to figure out new technology. Set up automatic bill payment systems, simplified online banking, and streamlined financial management tools before cognitive changes make learning new systems impossible. Have honest, detailed conversations with family members about exactly how they can support you during independence transitions without completely taking over your life and treating you like a child. Most importantly, Build strong relationships with neighbors, local service providers, and community support systems who can step in quickly and effectively when emergencies arise. Don't wait for a crisis to figure these things out, because preparation must happen while you're still fully capable and thinking clearly. Reality 3. Your memory betrays you in ways that terrify everyone around you. What happens when the people you love most start looking at you with genuine fear in their eyes? Memory changes after 85 aren't just about occasionally forgetting where you put your keys or blanking on someone's name for a few seconds. They're about forgetting fundamental pieces of who you are and who matters most to you in ways that alarm everyone around you. Johns Hopkins research on cognitive changes after 85 shows that 35% of people experience significant memory disruptions that create serious safety concerns and genuine terror in family members who don't know how to help or what to expect next. These aren't the normal senior moments that everyone jokes about. These are profound mental lapses that signal your brain is struggling in ways that frighten everyone who cares about you. Carl from Phoenix experienced this devastating reality firsthand when he completely forgot his beloved grandson's name during a routine family dinner. This wasn't a momentary blank or temporary confusion. This was complete, total amnesia about a child he'd helped raise and adored for 12 years. He looked directly at the boy he'd taken to baseball games, helped with homework, and considered one of his greatest joys in life, and had absolutely no idea what to call him or how they were related. The dining room went completely silent. His daughter started crying quietly, and Carl realized with horror that his entire family was looking at him like he was already gone, like the man they loved had disappeared and left behind a confused stranger. 2 weeks after that dinner, he got lost driving to the bank he'd used faithfully for 30 years, ending up 40 miles away in a completely unfamiliar neighborhood, with no memory of how he got there or why he'd made those particular turns. The consequences of untreated memory issues extend far beyond personal embarrassment or temporary confusion, creating genuine dangers that threaten your safety and destroy family relationships. According to comprehensive research from the National Institute on Aging, seniors with unaddressed cognitive decline are 6 times more likely to experience dangerous accidents, including serious falls, kitchen fires, medication overdoses, or getting lost in dangerous situations. They're also 3 times more likely to become victims of financial scams, telephone fraud, and elder abuse, because their judgment becomes impaired and they can't recognize obvious warning signs. Family relationships deteriorate rapidly and sometimes permanently when memory issues create constant safety concerns, leading to forced changes in living situations, complete loss of financial control, and total disruption of established life patterns that took decades to develop. The fear you see in your family's eyes isn't just emotional distress. It's practical terror about your immediate safety and their legal responsibility for your well-being. Start implementing daily brain exercises immediately and maintain them consistently without exception, treating mental fitness as seriously as physical fitness. Spend at least 15 focused minutes every single morning working on crossword puzzles, word games, Sudoku, or specialized memory challenges designed for seniors. Read books that require concentration and active thinking, then discuss them with friends, family members, or book club participants to keep your mind actively engaged in complex processing. Learn new skills that challenge different parts of your brain, such as using smartphones or computers, playing strategic card games like bridge, or picking up creative hobbies like painting or music that require both memory and coordination. Most importantly, have completely honest, detailed conversations with your doctor about any memory changes you notice, no matter how minor or embarrassing they might seem. Early intervention through cognitive therapy, lifestyle changes, and sometimes medical treatment can slow cognitive decline significantly and preserve your independence longer, but only if you address problems while they're still manageable and before they become crisis situations. Don't wait until family members start expressing serious concerns or suggesting major life changes. Take action the very moment you notice any changes in your thinking, memory, or decision-making abilities. Reality 4. Your body becomes a stranger. You no longer recognize. Why doesn't anyone prepare you for the day when your own body feels like your worst enemy? After 85, physical changes don't just make you slower, weaker, or more tired. They make you feel like you're trapped inside someone else's body that refuses to obey your mind or cooperate with your intentions. CDC statistics reveal that 65% of Americans over 85 experience what medical researchers call embodiment disconnect, a psychological phenomenon where the gap between how you feel mentally and what your body can actually accomplish becomes so wide it creates genuine psychological distress and depression. This isn't about gracefully accepting normal aging processes. This is about your physical self betraying you in ways that feel impossible, frightening, and completely out of your control. Dolores from Miami described this devastating disconnect perfectly when she explained, "Every single morning, I wake up feeling like I'm 40 years old in my head, with the same energy, enthusiasm, and mental sharpness I've always had. But the moment I try to get out of bed, I'm brutally reminded that I'm living inside an 86-year-old body that doesn't listen to me anymore." Simple tasks that she'd performed effortlessly for decades suddenly require careful planning, physical effort, and sometimes assistance from others. Standing up from her favorite living room chair requires using her arms to push off, and sometimes multiple attempts. Climbing the stairs to her bedroom feels like scaling a mountain that grows taller every day. Getting dressed in the morning takes 3 times longer than it used to, and activities she'd enjoyed her entire life, like gardening or cooking elaborate meals, now require help from family members or have become completely impossible. The medical reality behind this physical betrayal is that muscle mass loss, bone density reduction, and cardiovascular decline accelerate dramatically after 85, creating a perfect storm of physical limitation. According to research from the American College of Sports Medicine, most people over 85 lose 8 to 10% of their remaining muscle strength each year, while bone density decreases by 3 to 5% annually, and cardiovascular efficiency drops by 6 to 8% per year. This rapid decline leads directly to increased fall risk, with 40% of people over 85 falling at least once per year and 15% experiencing serious fractures that require hospitalization and extended recovery periods. Physical frailty creates a cascade of additional health problems, including reduced cardiovascular function, compromised immune system response, increased susceptibility to infections, and higher rates of depression and anxiety. Once significant frailty sets in, medical research shows that 80% of people never recover their previous functional levels, regardless of physical therapy, medical intervention, or family support. Begin chair exercises and balance training today, right now, even if you currently feel strong, capable, and completely confident in your physical abilities. Spend 10 focused minutes every morning doing seated leg lifts, arm circles, gentle stretching, and resistance exercises that preserve muscle mass and joint flexibility. Practice standing up from chairs without using your hands to push off, which maintains crucial leg strength and core stability. Walk heel to toe across your living room daily to maintain balance, coordination, and spatial awareness that prevent falls. Do resistance exercises using household items like water bottles, canned goods, or resistance bands to preserve upper body strength and bone density. Most importantly, stay as physically active as possible in activities you genuinely enjoy, rather than treating exercise like punishment or medical treatment. Take walks with friends, dance to music you love, garden in raised beds, or swim if you have access to a pool. Don't wait until movement becomes difficult, painful, or dangerous. Build physical strength reserves and maintain flexibility while you still can. Reality 5. Everyone you counted on starts avoiding the hard conversations. What's the cruelest irony of reaching 85? The people who should be helping you navigate this challenging time begin treating you like you're already mentally gone, even when your mind is still sharp and fully capable. American Psychological Association research on family dynamics with aging reveals that 75% of adult children begin systematically excluding parents from major life decisions once the parents reach 85, even when those parents remain mentally competent and desperately want to participate in planning their own futures. This isn't intentionally malicious behavior, it's misguided protection that strips away your dignity and autonomy at the exact moment when maintaining those things becomes most critical to your mental health, self-respect, and overall well-being. Vincent from Seattle discovered this painful reality when his well-meaning daughter started having private conversations with his doctor without including him in the room or the decision-making process. She would schedule his medical appointments without consulting his preferences, drive him to the office, and then speak directly to the physician as if Vincent wasn't present or capable of understanding his own health information. When he protested and asked to be included in discussions about his own medical care, she explained that she was just trying to help and didn't want to burden him with complicated medical details. But Vincent understood exactly what was happening. His family had unilaterally decided he was no longer capable of managing his own healthcare decisions, despite the fact that his mind remained completely sharp and he wanted desperately to remain actively involved in his own care and treatment planning. The psychological damage caused by being excluded from decisions about your own life is severe, long-lasting, and often irreversible. Research from Yale School of Medicine shows that seniors who feel their autonomy has been inappropriately taken away experience clinical depression rates 300% higher than those who maintain active, respected roles in their own decision-making processes. Being treated as mentally incompetent when you're still cognitively capable creates deep resentment, chronic anxiety, learned helplessness, and a profound sense of powerlessness that actually accelerates both cognitive and physical decline. Family relationships suffer permanent, sometimes irreparable damage when adult children take over parental decisions prematurely, creating ongoing conflict, mistrust, and emotional distance that persists for whatever time remains in those precious relationships. Have direct, detailed, honest conversations about your wishes, capabilities, and expectations with your family members right now, today, while everyone still sees you as fully competent and respects your judgment. Write down your specific preferences for medical care, living arrangements, financial management, and end-of-life decisions, while your mind is completely clear and your thinking is sharp. Discuss these detailed documents with your children, grandchildren, and other important people in your life, making sure they understand that you want and expect to remain actively involved in decisions about your own life for as long as you're mentally capable. Be explicitly clear about what kinds of help you welcome and appreciate versus what kinds of assistance feel insulting, controlling, or demeaning to your sense of independence. Create proper legal documents including advance directives, durable powers of attorney, and healthcare proxies that protect your right to participate in your own care, while also ensuring your wishes will be respected if you do become incapacitated. Don't wait until others start questioning your mental capacity or suggesting major changes to your life. Establish your expectations firmly and clearly. When everyone agrees, you're still completely sharp and fully capable of making your own decisions. These 5 brutal realities hit hard and can feel overwhelming, but here's what gives me genuine hope and confidence. Awareness is your most powerful weapon against the challenges of aging. When you know what's coming, when you understand the specific threats you'll face, you can prepare effectively, adapt successfully, and maintain your dignity through every challenge that aging throws at you. You're not powerless against these inevitable changes. You're informed and prepared. And that knowledge makes all the difference between being a helpless victim of the aging process and being someone who ages with strength, purpose, and maintained independence. If this video opened your eyes to realities you hadn't considered or prepared for, hit that like button right now and tell me in the comments which of these 5 realities concerns you most, or which one you're going to start preparing for immediately. Share this video with other seniors in your life because they deserve to be prepared and informed too, and your wisdom and foresight could save someone you care about from facing these challenges completely alone and unprepared.